The so-called Millennium Man was at the center of a macro performance held in Barcelona to welcome year 2000. He represented a collective human being made up of individual identities joined. Now, 20 years later, this collective being's heart is still beating. But if we look at Catalonia, it is quite changed. Barely 6 million Catalans celebrated the long-awaited New Year, and now the country is en route to have 8 million citizens. Two reasons are accountable for that: the increase of life expectancy and, above all, the mass wave of migrants, only slowed down due to the financial crisis. But these figures are on top of a key one. Catalonia's birth rate has remained at the bottom of EU's fertility rates now for decades, contributing to an aging of the population, which concerns experts.
Less than 10% of women that don't want to have children, but in reality we have 30% of women among young generations that won't have children. Our young people don't have good jobs, they don't have good access to housing, and our age at leaving the parental home is very late.
So a clear question comes to the surface. To what extent does Catalonia depend on migrants?
In societies where fertility is very low, the only possible way to growth in demographic terms will be through migration.
But what happens if not enough migrants arrive? $1 million question. Who's going to pay for our pensions in the coming years?
We can play a little bit with the age of the retirement. I think that we may not necessarily have imposed an age of retirement, but I guess we'll have to provide more flexibility in the system so that people that they want to work longer, that they are able to work longer. Also, we can improve the salary gap between men and women. We have a lot of room to improve the occupation among the young people.
Y2K problem overshadowed underlying problems as the 1000s came to an end, one of which, 20 years later, remains the same and maybe worsened: the aging of the country.